The Prime Minister said this weekend to a group of Canadian businessmen, he was at a private meeting, he said that your wish for Canada to be the 51st state is a, quote, real thing. Is it a real thing?
Yeah, it is. I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada, and I'm not going to let that happen. It's too much. Why are we paying $200 billion a year, essentially in subsidy to Canada? Now, if they're a 51st state, I don't mind doing it.
Canada in a closed-door meeting with business leaders. Outgoing Prime Minister Justin Trudeau warned that President Trump is serious about annexing Canada to make it the 51st state. Is he right? Is President Trump serious about planning to annex Canada?
Look, I think the Canadian people many of them would love to join the United States with no tariffs, with lower taxes. And I have all kinds of neighbors down in Florida that are Canadians that are escaping many of the liberal policies and have moved in. But look, what we're talking about
yes or no? First of all, I think some Canadians would disagree with you.
In the Western Hemisphere?
I think some Canadians would disagree with you. But just yes or no?
The US President Donald Trump has confirmed he has plans to implement 25% tariffs on steel and aluminium. It's a major escalation in the trade war that he's been waging for the last 3 weeks since he entered office for the second time. Mr. Trump says he will officially announce such reciprocal tariffs this week in just a couple of days' time, which is expected to take effect almost immediately.
Very simply, it's if they charge us, we charge them. Any steel coming into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff. Nobody can have a majority stake for U.S. Steel. They can for other companies, but not for U.S. Steel. I think you agree with that, Dr. Right? U.S. Steel was one of our great companies, and through a lot of stupidity and bad government and also bad management of the company, it lost that luster. But it's going to gain it back, and tariffs are going to help. Tariffs are going to make it very successful again.
When does it go into effect, sir?
Almost immediately, but I'll be announcing the details of it, highly detailed, and it'll be great for everybody, including the other countries. But if they are charging us 130% and we're charging them nothing, it's not going to stay that way.
This is on every country?
Every country will be reciprocal. That's right. Every country.
That was Donald Trump on Air Force One on the way to the Super Bowl. It was an impromptu media conference and he foreshadowed an announcement he's going to make in just a couple of days' time. Now, he has done this before. He did it in the first administration, tariffs on aluminium and steel. It was a blanket tariff imposed on all products going into the United States. But Australia was able to get an exemption back in 2018. We've got a couple of things going for us. The fact that we run a trade deficit with the United States and also our strong military ties. Now we have AUKUS, and at the time, Joe Hockey was in Washington. He was the ambassador and he was able to speak directly to the administration and point out these issues. And then we got that exemption. It's a different thing now. All those conditions remain in place, but there's a different ambassador in the White House, and that is Kevin Rudd. The Albanese government is now working to understand how these tariffs can affect us.